Hi everyone. I have gotten several questions, DMs and comments on different platforms about my last video. So I kind of wanted to explain some things that everybody was kind of confused about, namely internal family systems, IFS. This is a trauma-informed healing modality that many therapists will use to kind of explain the internal systems of everybody. There are three different parts to the internal family systems. There's the exiles, the firefighters, and the managers. And the managers and firefighters are really there to suppress what's going on with the exile. These exiles are just the wound. Sorry, I just saw a really pretty bird. Exiles are the most vulnerable parts of ourselves, and they are often hidden away so that we aren't reliving the most painful, traumatic, and vulnerable parts or experiences of our lives. They are the ones that hold the deepest sadness, fear, and guilt, and they also hold our burdened beliefs, the beliefs of us that feel that we are not good enough, that we're unlovable, undesired. Another trait of the exile is that it's frozen in time. Whenever that wound happened, it is going to stay in the body. It's held inside the body. And anytime there's a trigger reminding that exile or that wound of the past, it resurfaces. And it's like added upon layer by layer. And one thing about our body and our brains, and especially how it processes trauma, is that it cannot tell the past from the present. So if something happens that reminds us of something in the past, it brings it up again. And then our firefighters and managers also come in. And let's talk about this next. Now the firefighters, these are exactly how it sounds. They spring into action when a trigger happens or when there's an emotional flare-up. They use quick fixes like numbing, impulsivity, and defensiveness. So numbing, just like shutting down. Distractions, overeating, shopping, and like defensiveness, this is where like anger outbursts will come from. Basically, anything to distract from the exile that's raising the flag, saying something's wrong here. One more thing about firefighters is that they are often what comes out as your coping mechanism when a trigger happens. So that's your fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. So if you're doing one of these things, you've been triggered. Managers are like a proactive planner. They try to do anything and everything to keep things under control so that you don't have to face deeper emotional pain or vulnerability. They do this in a few different ways. There's perfectionism, which basically means trying to do everything perfect to avoid any criticism. Then there's overthinking, and that basically plans for anything, different scenarios and things so that nothing can catch you off guard. I'm guilty of this one. And then there's also avoidance, which is staying clear of anything that can cause painful or uncomfortable feelings. I forgot to mention at the beginning a very important part of the IFS system, and that is the inner self. The part of you that is calm, cool, and collected. The part that has compassion and clarity and confidence. When the self leads, then the managers and the exiles can relax. And the exiles can release their burdens. Because that compassion is being shown to them, and they can integrate and reintegrate back into the self, and then they don't act up anymore, resulting in a balanced, more peaceful inner world. And that's what we're all working towards, is just being more peaceful and balanced. I know that was really long. Thank you for staying with me, and I hope I answered some questions. I absolutely love talking about this stuff a little too much. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment below or send me a DM, because like I said, I'm kind of a bit of a nerd about this stuff and I love talking about it.